And that's the memo. Now, for the top story tonight, reaction, joining us from Washington, Fox News analyst Karl Rove. So this is a mess. It continues to be a mess. And President Obama can't really do anything publicly. I'm sure behind the scenes they're trying to get the guy the hell out of the country. Would you agree with that?
Well, they've been doing things with none of the cameras, which is what I think got Mubarak's back up. You'll notice in a speech tonight, he basically took a swipe at the president saying, I'm not going to do things no matter what government tries to get me to do things. His vice president, Suleiman, took an attack at Al Jazeera saying, basically, we don't pay attention to these cable news. They just want to make Egypt look bad. But you're right. This is a bad evening. Think about this. Tomorrow morning in Egypt is Friday, the beginning of the weekend, and when everyone goes to the mosque. And this is the moment where the Muslim Brotherhood and the protesters have their greatest strength. And on the eve of that, when these people are about ready to congregate in the mosques, he goes out and says what he said tonight, which is just simply going to give energy to the protesters tomorrow. And as a result, the military is going to face a very quick and dangerous decision. Should they tilt one way or the other, and if they tilt against Mubarak and for the people, how far should they lean?
Well, they almost have to, though. They almost, look, all day today, as you know, and everybody who was watching the news know, and certainly the protesters in Egypt know, all day it was, Mubarak's going to announce he's out of there, the army's going to take over. That's what it was. There were reports on the wire, there were reports all over the place. So then Mubarak says, you know what, blank you, I'm not doing that. I'm going to hand over some power to Omar Suleiman, who's just Mubarak light. And, the protesters can go, you know what. Now, you're right, absolutely right. Anger is going to build all night tonight. And then tomorrow, on Friday, the mullahs are going to whip them up. And the army cannot go against their own people, and they won't.
They've thus far not. They have thus far not gone against it. Incidentally, one point, Bill. I think the problem was he didn't hand over more power to Suleiman tonight. He, in essence, sounded like he was going to remain in power.
Mr. Rove. They don't want any of these guys.
Well, Suleiman could be a transitional figure.
I don't think so. I disagree.
By the military. But look, after tonight, it doesn't matter. He is no longer a transitional figure because he got no transition to him tonight.
Well, also looking like he's a puppet of Mubarak, and that's what the people want. They want this. Look, the solution is to let the army run the country until September and let them vote. I mean, it just staggers the mind. Okay, now let's get to our position in this. Were you surprised the president didn't answer my question?
No, I didn't. And, Bill, with all due respect, I don't think that Mubarak knows really bad things that could hurt the United States. The things that he knows that we probably don't want to disclose and that he doesn't want to disclose is how closely he has cooperated with us in confronting Hezbollah, Hamas, and terrorism in the Middle East. I doubt that there's anything he knows that could harm us on the international stage or that the American people will find reprehensible.
Let me challenge you on that.
Sure.
You know that Egypt is a rendition tour, not only for the Bush administration, but for the Obama administration.
Right.
You know the secret police tortures these people in the worst possible way.
No, we don't know that. In fact, we do not turn people over for rendition with the knowledge that they are going to be tortured.
Well, maybe that's so, but are you telling me on national worldwide television that the Egyptian secret police don't torture people?
Well, I'm telling you that the people that the United States might turn over in rendition to allies around the world because we don't want to hold them here and they're nationals who ought to be held by their people. Yeah, yes, I'm telling you that we take steps to make certain that they are not treated inhumanely. And does the secret police have the secret police in enforcing the regime's authoritarian nature inside Egypt mistreated its people? You bet they have. That's one of the problems that we've had with them.
Look, I don't know. I didn't see it firsthand, but from every intelligence person I've ever talked to, they say the Egyptian secret police is brutal. But remember, there's
anybody
in their hand. Any extremist.
Remember, Bill. There's a difference between the military, who handles these kind of things, and the internal security police.
There is a difference.
There is one's in the Interior Ministry, the other is in the Defense and the Intelligence.
But you have to know, Mr. Rove, that one of the CIA techniques was to tell the captured Al-Qaeda, go to Egypt, because that's the worst thing they could tell them.
Well,
that's the worst thing they could tell them.
Look, that's because they knew that they were treated in a certain way in the United States, and that they wouldn't have those constitutional protections. But it didn't mean that they tortured them. And I repeat, there's a difference between the intelligence and the defense on the one hand, and the secret police on the other. We work closely with the former, and not with the latter.
I hope you're right. I hope. Okay.
I am right on this one, Bill.
Mubarak, you met him a couple of times. I mean, this guy is a megalomaniac criminal. Am I wrong?
I don't view him as, look, I view him as a megalomaniac and an authoritarian, and as all authoritarians do, they do brutal things to their people. But I want to be careful about using the word criminal.
$70 billion? Where'd he get?
Well, you know what? Again, exaggerated. I mean, that's more than the U.S. aid. That's more than the U.S. aid over decades and decades and decades.
Let's say it's $10 billion.
No, let's say it's $1 billion. Let's say it's $1 billion.
Yeah, all right, $1 billion.
Yeah, okay.
Where'd he get it?
It's bad. Well, I don't know, but probably not anywhere good. That's the problem with authoritarians. That's why we need democracy.
It might be my money and your money. We're sending him $1.5 billion every year.
No doubt that some of it probably came originally from American taxpayers, which is the problem with authoritarians and with this decades-long view that all we had to do was settle for stability instead of freedom and democracy.
All right, Mr. Rove, thanks very much. We appreciate it. Next on the Run.